Howdy y'all, and welcome to Lex Lives. I think it's time we play a little Minecraft. Alright. I don't know that I have a bunch of a plan for today. I did some work earlier, and I guess we can go start with we can start by taking a look at that. And then we'll see where I wander off to from there. I was gonna record earlier, and I got distracted and ended up watching a couple of movies instead. Neither one was really particularly good, so it wasn't worth my time. But I watched the Death Note movie, and I watched a movie about the kidnapping of the founder of American Atheists, kidnapping and murder, which was pretty crazy. But yeah, that was I don't know. There wasn't really much to that movie other than they were kidnapped and eventually killed. And the Death Note movie, on the other hand, was about what I was expecting. It's based off of Death Note, which is a pretty popular anime, which I don't care for. And I like the ending of it. I thought the ending was pretty good. I just wish the rest of the movie had maybe played into the ending a little better. I find the whole Death Note anime movie to be like, it's got potential. It's got a lot of potential to be cool, but it just winds up being kind of a lackluster story. And I don't know, it was just not for me. I'm not saying other people can't, love it. People love Death Note. A lot of people who suggest anime to me that I should watch, Death Note is always on that list, and you know what, I watched it, didn't like it. But yeah, no, I got in here and I finished the walls with white anyways. I still plan on eventually putting in some other colors, I think. And then I also put in some support beams, quote unquote. I left that stuff back there, but I could probably work on the outside of this a little bit too, because nothing connects to the... there's enough room in here. Let me go get some diorite, and I can work on that. Yeah, I guess spoilers for Death Note. Death Note is a story about a high school kid who receives the notebook of a death god, and there's like a bunch of rules. And so I've never read the manga it's based off of. I've only seen the anime and the movie. But basically you write down the name of the person you want to die, and they die. That's not what I came back here for. I came back here for andesite. I had some earlier, and I dumped it in this chest down here, I think. Yes. That's probably plenty right there. And so in the anime, both versions have the same basic story. Smart kid starts using the Death Note to kill criminals. This other kid who's about the same age gets put on the case because he's the world's greatest detective. And I wonder if I can get this in here without climbing up. Nope, there's just no way. And so that's about the only real similarities between the two. So alright, how wide is this thing? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 20. I got 28. So I take off 4, that leaves me with 24. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. So this is the center here. Okay. And then I should probably do 1, 2. Nope, let's do that differently. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We should probably do a couple right here. And so in the anime, I've only seen it once, so I probably don't remember it totally. But what I remember from the anime is they're trying to figure out who the killer is, because he's killing criminals with the notebook. He decides he's going to clean up the world by killing all the criminals. Nope, I did that from here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so the main character's name is Light, which is a dumb name. And then the detective's name is L. I don't know the point of that, but that's what his name is, L. And I guess he doesn't want his identity known. I don't know why he chose the letter L as his name, but and I find that to be weird that they both have a name that starts with the same letter. That's like that, Light and L. And L is bizarre. L is bizarre in both the movie and the anime. And I think there's a Japanese movie based off of the anime as well, but I haven't seen that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, 21, 3, 4, 5, 26, 27, 28, 30, 31, 32, 33. Ooh. 33. That's got an odd number to it. Okay, so half of 33 is going to be 17. Will be the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16. Oh, dang it! Dang you! Stupid skeleton wearing pants. Yeah, L asks Light to help him in the anime to figure out who the killer is, and so then Light attempts to, because he can kind of say how the people die, and so he uses that to alter any clues that would lead back to him. And while he tries to figure out L's name so he can kill L to stop himself from being caught. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So, and honestly, I want to say the anime ends with him being arrested. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how it ends. Okay, so if it's 17 on a side, or it's 16, then I need to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope, screwed that right up. I did. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. And then the movie adds in Girlfriend. And the movie is an American version based off of the manga. It's not a retelling. It's a slightly different version altogether, which makes a lot of the criticism I have received from my friends who love Death Note and some of the other comments I've seen made about it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because I've seen... There are plenty of movies that have the original foreign film version and the American version, and they're always not the same. Like, they tell a similar story, but they're not the same. And so you can't really complain that it's not, complete retelling of the original when it wasn't meant to be. And so... Man, I wish there was a thing that would just count this out for me. And, so anyways. So we, yeah. I kind of like the ending of the American movie better than the anime. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And, man, if I sniff my nose, I've got a bit of a cold, and it's not running, it's kind of plugged up, and it's hard to breathe. So, I totally haven't taken any antihistamines today, so, I probably should have. You can probably hear it in my voice. My voice has been in use a long time today, so, one... Nope, I want to go from this side here. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then, yeah, I like the ending of the movie. I like the ending of the movie better than I like the anime. And like I said, I haven't read the manga. I'm not really good at reading mangas. Not that I don't have the desire to, just that I don't have the discipline. Like, if I just had them in my hand, it might be different, but I don't go out buying manga, and so I usually have them in some kind of... I don't think you're supposed to be there. Yeah, I know I got a message from one of my friends after I had finished watching it, and he was like, "This new Death Note movie sucks. It is not good." He finally watched the Americanized version. Well, that's a dumb thing to say. It's an American cartoon. He finally watched the movie live action version of Avatar and hated all over that. Uh, that's a series I didn't get behind either. I wasn't a fan. Dude, I totally need to run one more row of stuff down through there, don't I? Man, let me go get some of that. And he hated all over that, all over that. I'm like, dude, you do know that it's like scene for scene, word for word, mostly straight off the cartoon. Yeah, but it misses the nuances of my favorite character, which of course is the goofiest character on the show. Because that's his thing. He loves the horribly goofy stuff, which I can't stand. I basically just know that while we like the same genre of things a lot of times, we do not like the same things. You know, we both might like fantasy novels, but we like widely different fantasy novels. We both like anime, but we like widely different anime. It basically it's like saying I like movies. Well, I like movies too. You know, my favorite movie is I don't know. My favorite movie is Saving Private Ryan. Well, my favorite movie is You've Got Mail. Both movies completely different. I had a friend who used to watch You've Got Mail all the time. He would come home from work and put in You've Got Mail every day. As a joke, we played cards with him almost every night for a long time, for years. Almost every night of the week, we would get together and play euchre, which is a card game from the region I live in. And every night when he would pull in, we would put in Tombstone, the movie, and then skip it to a random point. And so every night he would walk in and see that we were watching Tombstone and throw a fit. I can't believe you guys are watching this again. You watch this like every day. Anyways. So, yeah. So other than a little bit more I want to do with colors on the walls, and I was going to do a thing with iron fencing, but I don't think that's going to happen now. So this is probably. Oh, I also I moved the glowstone. Oh, look, I didn't move the glowstone. I moved the glowstone down because I didn't like it on top, and so I moved it down into the floor. I basically just went either side of the posts, and I still don't like the look of glowstone, but now it's not as visible. So I like that better, but it lets this place be lit up. I should probably get some here in the ground. We can put some on either side of these benches, and then I can bring some leaves in. And then today was Family D&D Day. And so we reached the end of a story arc, which is cool. We've been rattling around at that thing for a while now. I didn't think we were ever going to get finished. We ended last week with the oh, you know, I should totally run some fencing down through here too. We don't want people running out on the road. How far back did I go on this side? We ended last week with the sister of one of the characters being revealed as having been captured. He thought she'd been dead, and so the final words of the session were "Hello, brother," and so this we call them episodes. So this episode, we ended up. Okay, and then how far did I go? It was 5, right? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, well, that's a little too close there. So let's not do 5. 1, 2, 4. Then we do 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this totally is not a 4. 2, 3, 4. Bump. Bump. Like that. And, so, we start off this one with him, freaking out a little bit, of course. And, because she's alive and she's not supposed to be. And so I really shouldn't use bone. This is a lot of bone that goes into these blocks. And I know I have like a renewable source of it, but still. And so she went over and used her telepathy on him to let him know what had happened to her, and then gave a rundown to the rest of the group. What had happened. She finds most of her gear stashed away in the room, but she does not find her focus to be able to cast with. And so she's basically limited to melee, which is her thing anyways. She's a blade lock, they call it, which just means she's a warlock that uses a weapon. And so, alright, let's go get some iron fencing for this. And so, they head up the stairs, and when they get to the top of the stairs, to the top floor of the tower, they are faced off by the wizard, Ezerbarn, who they've been hunting. And he casts a little spell at him. The monk uses his abilities to get right up to him and hits him twice, but he makes it up the stairs and seals the path behind him, activating 2 shield guardians, which are like suits of armor that can move on their own. And I totally forgot about one of their abilities and forgot to use it, which was a shame. But they did almost kill part of the group, which is how I like my combat to go. I don't want anyone to die necessarily, but at least a couple of people should look like they're about to die during a fight. Otherwise, I feel like it's too easy, you know? I don't want my people just to run in and be like, bam, 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 next, bam, bam, bam. I want it to be, you know, life and death struggle where... Because, you know, I play as a character, and it's pretty rare for me to use my special abilities, because I'm saving them for those moments when it's life and death, and the life and death moments never come, and so I just use my special abilities when I know we're getting to the end of something, rather than having had to spend them and, you know, I'm frantically trying to stay alive, and so I try to keep my players as a DM frantically trying to stay alive. And so they finish off the shield guardians. They dump the last of their potions and stuff like that to try and get their hit points up because they know they're going to the end after this, and they sneak up, and the wizard can't see them from where he's at because he is behind what's basically the body of a dragon that he has pieced together. And so the rogue in the group attempts an assassination ability, which just means they get to do a lot of extra damage on a single attack. They have some weird names in their abilities in D&D, and one of them is assassinate, because assassinate isn't actually an assassination; it's just a super powerful hit. I don't know what else they should call it. I'm just saying that calling something an assassinate is when you don't actually kill the thing. Kind of isn't an assassination. It's an assassination attempt, I guess. But it's almost never going to be an assassination. She did, however, get him down to 11 hit points. So that was almost an assassination. I don't think her max damage... no, that's not true. Her max damage could have assassinated him. 8 plus... Oh yeah, her max damage could have straight up one-shot the wizard. But she didn't get max damage. She just brought him down to 11. And so then from that point, they had to fight some gargoyles, and they fought their way through those. And then 2 of them ran off from the gargoyles and attacked the wizard. And the wizard got a couple of good hits in. Basically, 2 of the people got knocked unconscious because of the wizard. And then they wiped out the rest of the gargoyles and the wizard, but the wizard managed to activate the dragon because he's like a Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein. So a lot of the creatures that they came across were cobbled together by the wizard as his creations, and weren't actual, it wasn't an actual dragon. It was the skeleton of a dragon overlaid with... Did I just put a stack of stone in here that I need? It was a skeleton of a dragon that had been overlaid with skin and other things to make a dragon. And so I took the stats of a adult black dragon, which is a dragon that spits acid, because a lot of his powers were acid based. I don't know if they even noticed that I had a theme for the wizard, but he used a lot of acid based things, and so the black dragon is acid based. And so they fought that, and only one of them technically should have died, but I let them live, because they're not at a point where it would be easy in the story to bring back the character, and we're far enough in that nobody really wants to start over. I mean, it wasn't a big deal. It's not like I'm like, oh, well, he didn't hit you that time. The rules are just like, if you take damage while you're unconscious, it's 2 death saves failed instead of 1, and so they took damage. And I could have ruled that it was 2 fails after they'd already failed once, but I just told them it was a single fail. And okay, now I don't think this is wide enough. What is going on here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Actually, I think it's too wide, now that I say that. It didn't look like it was wide enough to me, but I think it is. Get the curb side in here. Let's not curb this. Oh, this is... Oh, but I can fill this in. Let's fill it in with this. I guess it's a good thing we got these. And I can fill this one in here too, as well. Yeah, so they fought the dragon, they killed the dragon, and one of the characters is an archer based off the fighter class, which I know there's a ranger class, but I didn't want to play a ranger. I want to play the fighter as an archer because I watched this video online about what to do with your fighter class besides the obvious, and so they went over all the different ways you can play a fighter, and I'm like, ooh, I want to try out the archer. You know what? It's kind of cool. I kind of enjoy being the archer, and there's a lot of suggestions that you take this subclass, which determines some of your special abilities. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And they're like, oh, you gotta take the Battle Master. The Battle Master. I don't like the Battle Master. I just don't. So I've played with it for 7 levels now, and I'm just not impressed. And so there's an archer subclass that they've added to the game, and I just did a bunch of work using OneNote, which is like a notebook on your computer with tabs. Although it's missing some features that would make it super useful. Like, I don't know, the ability to print, in case I wanted to print off a hard copy of something. And like today, I needed to print off the monk information that I have in there. And you know what? There's no print button on the app. Even though it's on my PC, I can't print. And so I had to copy it into something else to print, which is ridiculous. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. It's not too wide. I just can't count. And, oh, looks like I'm out of those. Oh, no, I'm not. And so, I asked him if it'd be alright if I switched, because I wanted to try out this arcane archer that's in the... Basically I make NPCs so that I can test out classes that I haven't used, and this time I want to try it out on the actual character that's on the team. And so they were fine with it, and so I went ahead and kind of got an idea before we started today what I could do. And so there's this huge green crystal, because all the magic's based off of these green crystals that this dude's been using. And so he's got a huge one that he's using to power his dragon. And so I was going to have that fire into the tower after the dragon was killed and explode the tower, and have them have to jump for safety, and have the character who I want to change his subclass from Battle Master to Arcane Archer. I wanted to use that as the thing that made him change. So not that he was choosing to change, but that he got caught in the arcane energies and now has magic where he didn't have any before. Man, I wish I had some stone. I could wall this in. I think I can wall this in here. Although maybe I will just bulldoze this down, because I might build here. So yeah, probably... you know, no, I don't think so. I think I'm gonna wall this in. I'm gonna do... I've made these before on other things. I'm gonna wall that in and put some fencing over it so it looks like it's being held back like they do in the mountains. If you ever driven through the mountains, you'll come across areas where they put basically chain link fence over the mountain to stop it from crumbling onto the road. Not everywhere, but you know, there are places I've seen it done, and so I'll probably do that there. But yeah, and so I had been telling them how lightning is used to power this crystal almost the entire game, or almost the entire story arc. And for some reason, the druid on our team decided to use lightning bolts and just kept firing lightning bolt down over and over. And so after the dragon was activated, I explained, man, that guy followed me all the way across. Look at him, he's still coming for me. Get out of here, you little bugger. He wanted me bad. He followed me from way over there. Uh, and so after the dragon was brought to life, I told her how the lightning was striking the lightning rods that fed into the crystal, and the crystal was starting to crack from being overpowered. And she just kept using the lightning bolts. I was going to blow it up anyways at this point after she cracked it the first time. She just kept using it, and so as they loot the body quick, and I'm like, the crystal's starting to fire energy beams in all directions, and they run down the stairs. Well, the archer guy, the one that I want to change his subclass, always goes last when they pick an order because he's ranged. And so he's the last one off the top of the tower, and so just as he reaches the stairway, I'm like, and the crystal explodes, sending shards everywhere and slamming the archer into the wall, peppered with shards. He is now bleeding from dozens of wounds, and so they try to heal him. It doesn't bring him up. They eventually have to take him after they escape the falling tower. They have to escape. The lake itself is tearing away from the land and is collapsing into the ravine next to the city, because it was all done by magic anyways. It shouldn't have been there. So now that the magic is gone, there's nothing holding it in place. And so only the magics that are holding the buildings that are on shore in place stop them from falling into the earth as well. And so yeah, they managed to get to the shore 2 turns before I would have ruled they fell into the ravine with everything else. I don't think they would have died, but it wouldn't have been good. And so they made it there, and then I had him take him to well, I wanted to hint that they should take him to the Fey Grove because his natural energies are now unbalanced, and they need a place that's tied powerfully to nature. And the druid on her own suggested a medicine check because her spells weren't working. And so I told her that she could sense that his natural energies were imbalanced, and because she rolled a 20 on her check, that she would probably need some place that was linked strongly with nature. And so she's like, I'm taking him to the Fey Grove. I'm like, perfect. That's what I thought in my mind. So they take him there, and they talk to the guardian of the grove, and he tells them that can't be healed here, would have to go all the way to the Fey realm, and he could do it, but at a price. And so then she agreed, yes, take him. Didn't ask what the price was, and so I'm like, oh well, this will work out perfect too. And so when he comes back, his memories of being a battle master have been wiped. That was the price, is his experience of being a battle master. I don't know how he's going to get his powers of an arcane archer yet. He has the magic now from what's happened to him, and he does not have his battle master abilities anymore. But yeah, it was a pretty good ending to the story arc. I wish it had gone a little faster. Today was a long day because of a lot of hassle with the small children that live here. But yeah, I found the whole overarching story arc pretty fun. So I'm looking forward to the next one. And with that, I am going to call it a day. So click like if you like, subscribe, be sure and catch the next one. and I'll talk to you later.